You got a lot of bottles on the counter today.
Yes.
Mixing some.
So, in the morning instead of coffee, I've been taking like something that gives me more alertness. And then what's cool about the new product line with Cutler Nutrition, since we launched like 5 months ago, all my pre-workouts and the products I'm focused on are kind of like the new age supplements, where it's more of nootropics, which is more of an alertness or gives you more clarity. So we came out with this product, Cognition. And a lot of people are asking me, like, I had the Prevail, which is the pre-workout, and it's a powder. Now this is a capsule, and it's take 2 capsules. Okay, and this has theanine and diamine in it. So this gives you more, it gives a little bit of caffeine in there. But this product, Cognition, for you guys out there to keep asking me, I know there's a lot of confusion with like, hey, which one's a pre-workout? They're both pre-workouts, but this one's more for people that are gamers, people that are working, people that are drinking coffee through the day. Instead of using the clarity of the caffeine, which you're only getting the benefit of the caffeine, you're getting other nootropics in here that give you that stimulation, that mood, and that focus. So I take either or. To be honest, the flavor is so good in the Prevail, that's why I take it in the morning. Because it's kind of like my fix. Like, you know how, like we talk about, like when we're training for shows and we have that certain thing that we use because we're just like, man, I just miss the taste of it. I think, like when we use the Crystal Light to sweeten our waters and stuff like that. It's kind of the same thing, but I'm testing here some new flavors. This is some limited run pre-workouts, which is awesome. So I'm always working on the new flavors, which is what I'm always telling people. When you have a company, you're always like, okay, what's the next?
Right.
And I'm always trying to think ahead. And now as we're coming into the busy season, which is through the summertime, everything slows down. Now the fall comes, and then of course the winter, which is the busy season, right? Everyone's going to work to get in shape as they transform for the next spring and summer. So I'll take a little bit before I go walk this morning.
But the Prevail is more helpful for the actual lifting phase of the day.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
Yes, of course. There's much more ingredients in here that will give you. It has citrulline in it. Yeah, I mean, it has the pump and whatever else. Where we talk about the stacks with the Amplify, which I don't have any here, by the way. I went through it. We're always digging for the bottom of the Amplify containers, but I actually had taken it to Baggy this weekend. I just, I want something instead of a crack powder. People want 500 milligrams of caffeine. I have in my ad, this is not the one.
Right.
This is more. I think you get more benefit out of this, feel better than just the cracked out 500 mgs of caffeine.
No, it's not
I
good.
mean, you don't even take the Prevail because I know you're just like, you don't need the stimulation to get in the gym, like the caffeine.
Yeah.
But someone like me, like I take 1 scoop of each and I just feel like I feel good without being high. And then I have the citrulline in a little bit in this one. And then of course the big dose in Amplify. It's 2 scoops of Amplify. What do you use?
2 scoops. But I'm glad you talk about it a little bit because people have been asking online or even on YouTube a lot. Please have Jay explain more about in detail, the line and they just.
I think we could do one. I'm not going to focus on one video on the products because I think that's kind of boring. A lot of people don't want to see it.
Yeah.
What I will do is have a call to page on the website that we'll do a video there and lock the video there instead of just on our channel. And that will give you explanation more of the products. But if you read it, which people don't like to read nowadays, and that's actually something I want to talk about when I'm walking this morning because I had a reminder this weekend when I went to Idaho Falls. We talked about with a lot of kids came to see me. And we talked about how the transition of YouTube and totally diminished the magazines, social media, because people just don't want to read. Like if you said, hey, what does this do? It's like, okay, the call to is right on the website. If you actually go to Cognition, it gives you the actual breakdown of how you say the name and exactly what's in it and what it does, right? So, I mean, I can sit here and say, okay, this is an alert pill. This is something, it's a mood enhancer. It is I would call it a smart pill, where this pre-workout is a smart pre-workout. So people talk about phones, like the old school phones, flip phones, all that stuff. Now we have smartphones. They do multiple things.
Yeah.
There's a smart pre-workout.
There you go. Okay, cool.
So,
that's good to know.
That's not an ad.
When's that page gonna be up, you think?
I just need to film the videos.
Okay.
Once I get done with the Olympia, I think
So
I'll do a call to where I'll sit in front of, like, I'll have J-Mark shoot the green screen stuff, and then I'll just talk about, like, the ingredients in the product. But I'm not a guy, like, even when we did the reviews on, like, Price Plow or Jack 3D, I'm like, guys, don't sit there and, you can break the ingredients down, but don't bore people to death. Like,
I know. I
mentioned a few of the main ingredients, which is important. I'm not a scientist or a chemist or anything like that that's going to explain, okay, this is how it works, because I'll be honest, like, dude, citrulline is the main thing in the Amplify, right? That gives us the pump. A lot of people don't feel the pump from citrulline. Some people, it just passes, and some people need a little glycerol. That's why the pre-workouts, there's a lot of different combinations of, oh, I get a good result out of that pre-workout for performance. Where, listen, you take 400 milligrams of caffeine, dude, you're gonna feel it. You know what I mean? It's gonna wind you up. It's like drinking 2 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
But to get the performance base, that's a whole different thing when you're like getting the pump and, you know, you're able to have that tunnel vision in the gym. You have to be able to train, but you and I love to train, so it's a little different from most people. And trust me, there's a lot of days I get off the plane, and I think we had one segment where I trained late at night, and I was like, fuck, man, I'm so tired, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's good to have an all around. Not to say I won't make another kind of pre-workout later.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember with the old brand, you know, I had a subtle pre-workout, then I launched that Legend Pro, which was like ballistic, right?
Yeah.
And then we had so many complaints, like, man, it's too strong.
Too much, yeah.
But I mean, there's 600 milligrams of caffeine. But the new line is just the new age. Everything's transparent, so anything that's in the bottle is on, you know, it's on the label, which is rare in a lot of the products that you've seen in the past, which now, you know, it's a new era. So.
Uh-oh, you out?
I have unlimited supply, but I'm still
loading up today.
You know, when people post their pictures of my stuff, and they're like, sad day, I'm out.
Time to reload.
So I just did all my blood work, and everything looks great.
You need to live one more year?
Hopefully I'll live a few more months anyway, but everything looks great right now, so see the Tata over there.
Yeah.
Looking good for the Olympia.
I know.
We didn't predict the 212s though.
Hey! Look at that face. Look at that face. All sucked in.
What's up, bro? How you doing, alright?
You guys going up now? Training?
We go train.
Train. We want to show you and Joe how we do it. No, you guys can't be the only fucking hardcore in here.
He's laughing.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta stand up for those 46-year-old men. You 46,
Am I
right?
46? Yeah, I
You don't even know.
We don't like to admit it.
Yeah, don't think about it. You look 35, Hide. All right. Looks in shape. That face doesn't lie.
What do you think?
I hope he does well, man. Hey, Joey.
So I'm gonna stack this on top of my.
Wow. It's like dynamite.
My water.
All right.
We're gonna go hit some arms.
Oh, you know what we're doing today?
I've been on point, Dave, with these.
You have good.
With these body parts. You notice that?
Yeah, man.
I think I'm going in the direction of full time again.
I know, that's what everybody says. We're just talking to someone over here, says, man, you look bigger, and she just laughs. Everyone's telling you you're getting bigger.
Because of the gray shirt.
Okay.
Whenever I wear gray, I look bigger, I think.
Okay. Arms it is.
Alright, so welcome to another episode of Cutler TV.
And what I'm going to do today is arm training, and yes, you've seen me train arms 100 times, and it is my least favorite body part to train just because the variety is not as much. But I'll do a couple different things. We're training at City Athletic Club here today in Las Vegas, so you guys come for Olympia, make sure you guys check this place out. And we're going to start with some rope press downs, but what I'm going to do with these is I'm actually going to do them from the floor. So I'm going to kneel on the floor, and I'm going to get close to the machine, and I'm really going to focus on, when I come down, really that horseshoe portion. Warm up the elbows. This is a great exercise for you guys that might have pain in your elbows. It's always the exercise that I start with. If you followed all my routines since the Olympia days, I like to do the ropes first to really get the elbows warm. It's not a heavy compound movement, and then I'll go into some heavier stuff. So we're going to focus on 12, 15 repetitions. Listen, don't be afraid of doing 15 reps for some of these arm movements. Okay, so triceps first, and then biceps. So we'll go through about 3 or 4 different movements of triceps, and then we'll do some biceps, stay them out, and stay tuned. All right, so the dip machine. Now you see me do variations of this where I'm doing it just with body weight machines, and there's a lot of different variations of machines, but what I really like about this one, which is a Nautilus, it's an older school Nautilus machine, the thicker handles. I always like to do it with a thicker handle, just because the thinner ones seem to put a little more pressure on my elbows. So I'm still going to focus on 12 repetitions, probably 3 sets of this, but I really like using this machine at this gym, so it's going to go up a little bit in weight here. So I usually do 1 field set and then 2 like all-out working sets, where I don't go to failure, but I push to the burn. And you see my grip also, pay attention to this. A lot of people grab here. I actually grab in the middle. Okay, so the elbow's a little more back. All right, so this is a 2-arm extension now. We do some overhead extended movements. This is gonna really stretch that muscle. So I always like to do some sort of press down movements, a dip movement, and then some sort of a overhead or a stretching movement. And this we'll do about 12 reps on. A lot of machines vary. But once again, we're just working on the extension and really just trying to build that horseshoe or tighten up that area. So I'm actually not gonna sit in the machine. I'm gonna do a Gold Gym Venice style machine press. All right, so the meat and potatoes exercise, which is going to be the French press, pretty standard. I'm going to do this with a cambered bar, and what we're going to focus on is really going to stretch with the tricep and our extension, get a little squeeze. So just try to be back and really just take the elbows out of the movement as much as possible. So I'm starting off with a pretty decent weight, probably pyramid up a little bit, but still focus on about 12 repetitions, and this is going to be the final movement for tricep training. But this is a mass movement. right, so this movement, pretty simple. Alternate dumbbell curl. Always my starting movement. For you guys that asked that watch the videos, remember, I tore this bicep. Kind of see the fibers there. 2 or 3 weeks prior to the 2011 Olympiad. And I competed with a torn bicep. I lost the title. I had it fixed in 2012, and I came back in 13. And as I was training for 13, I partially tore the lower portion of this arm. And I went and had the MRI done after by the surgeon that did this, okay? His name is Randall Yee. He's in Las Vegas. For you guys who have bicep injury, he's very, very good. So he attached this bicep. And he told me with this, he's like, listen, I can do the surgery, but are you gonna compete again? And I had no intention of ever getting on stage again. After 2013, I pretty much didn't officially retire, but I pretty much knew in my mind that was it. So I never chose to fix it because he said, you know what? Eventually it may tear. He says, we might get in there and it's a belly tear. You know, the MRI didn't show enough. So my wrist is going under the knife, having the surgery and having it be not necessarily a tendon tear, but actually a belly tear, which Dorian Yates had, which why he couldn't fix his. So I didn't want to risk it. I left it alone, so you'll notice people always comment on our videos about the bicep. And as I get a little smaller each year, which has happened, which is the goal, that gets a little more noticeable because the fullness isn't there. So sometimes when I eat a little more, I do get a little fuller, and obviously it masks it a little more, but when I'm lean and I'm depleted and I'm not in full capacity, which is most of the time, it shows. So for you guys that asking, you know, about the bicep, there's your answer, but more importantly, remember my goal every year is to lose a little more size all around. I want to come down slowly and work my way down. Okay, I'm still sitting about 240. I've kind of plateaued there a little bit, even though I always say to everyone around me I'd like to be a little smaller and just in better condition, better defined. The problem is I'm in between a 2X shirt and an extra large shirt. So I need to get myself into XL size and just be lean at that size. So I'm thinking like 225 would be ideal for me. So if I can get to that weight and stay lean. The only problem is I'm not a huge dieter, so I don't stay on a super strict diet all the time, even though I do cardio and I train. I just don't like to diet on the things that will probably get me down to that weight, which is lean, you know, fish, turkey breast, you know, cutting a lot of the red meat out and like the pastas and the things that I like to enjoy my life eating. So until I'm ready to do that, which there may be a time, I stay like this.
There you go.
Full-time bodybuilder.
You had to say it at least
Well,
once.
he's a full-time bodybuilder, I think.
Yeah.
There's an Angie's phone going off over there. I could kill that phone every day. All right, so listen. This exercise is similar to the one we just did, which is the dumbbells. With this, you know, we did alternate with the dumbbells. But with this machine, it locks the elbow, so it keeps it a little more stationary. Because everyone knows I like to cheat, right? I like to cheat on my curls. That's why I kind of explained, you know, it worked well for me, but this keeps me a little more strict. We're gonna focus on 12 reps, 3 sets of this. right, so cable curls, constant tension on the biceps. Love this movement. I'd like to do it with a little longer bar, but they're limited with the bars here. So I'm gonna do with this. Okay, I'm gonna lean back a little bit so I can really get a good stretch in the biceps and the bottom movement. 12 reps. Okay, I'm gonna do three sets, 12 reps, and I'm gonna pyramid the weight up a little bit. So check this out. All right, so preacher curls, which is pretty standard, right? 3 sets of this. I'm gonna do them on this Nautilus. This Nautilus equipment's awesome. So I either do these free weight, cable, dumbbell. This is gonna be a machine with this bar where it's kind of cambered here in a good position. It's got the really grip rubber on it, so I can really grip it. And with this, not super crazy. Okay, I've seen a lot of people get injured doing this exercise. They tear their biceps, so I never suggest doing this movement first. I'd always warm up doing other things because remember, your elbows are in a locked position. And it puts a lot of strain on the bicep tendon, so make sure everything is warm. So this will be the second to last exercise today. To finish off, we're going to do hammer curls just to work a little bit of the brachialis because everyone says I have no forearms. If you notice, there's a slight pause when I go through these motions, so I really kind of get my mind connected back with the muscle, and I just really try to contract slowly with the biceps, okay? So you notice a pause in a lot of my stuff, and sometimes I'll do 5 reps, I'll stop, I'll rethink the movement, connect my muscle again, and then I'll go through it. So let's finish off with the last bicep exercise.
Uh-oh.
Some full-time bodybuilders over there.
Yeah.
That's some full-time shit.
Yeah.
Come on, quick. You got it. Squeeze it up. Come on. 2 weeks. Oh, you got it. Go quick. You got it. Come on, one more. Come on, up. Please.
Jay says you guys look like two full-time bodybuilders over here.
Tennis players. I think Jay's put on a good 25, 30 pounds. Hey, he has a selective hearing when you tell him he's bigger again.
Nice, let me talk about this a little bit. So, thickness from the side, alternate hammer curls. Now I come across the body. Some people like to just go straight up and down. With this I like to come across. Okay, build that side. So when you turn from the side, you want to have that thickness and the depth of the bicep. You know, a lot of these other movements will work that peak, but you want to work that forearm tie-in thickness. Some of it's genetic. I had really big forearms when I was really doing heavy weights. When I stopped doing a lot of heavy weight training, I was forced to lose size there. Because I don't train heavy. I'm not, like I said, not going for the size as much. But I still like to have that definition a little bit. My arms were never super vascular. It's funny, now I'm more vascular than I ever was in my career. I blame the Amplify or a little bit of this with the hydration. But you know, that's gonna kill it for our arm workout. Gonna do little calves today, which is a little off schedule. But I fly tomorrow to Idaho, so I want to thank everyone for following along. In case I don't do an outro, love you guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed now. Fucking awesome. Keep killing it.
Hey, what's up, Jay?
I did it. I would make them so. So do you like edibles?
Because you don't like when it makes them like mixed too much.
Because I make it on my squares. Yeah.
You like
Not mine, yeah.
What's going on here? Are you done? Or? How's she coming along? Good?
Yeah. Always.
So we got to shoot them in shape in 2 weeks, huh? 2 weeks from
She
tomorrow.
always does it. Alright. Good job. You'll do my cardio. Just in case.
Alright guys, so just finished a workout here at the famous City Athletic Club. So you guys coming for the Olympia week, make sure you guys check out this club. It's not far from the strip. It's about 10 minutes from the strip. I'll be in the house training, and it's one of the places that a lot of the pros come to, so make sure you put that on your list to visit. And they're open till midnight every night, and you never know who you're going to see here. But we had a great workout today. It was awesome. You know, my arm day, I always mention, isn't my favorite day of the week, but I felt a pretty good pump today, and move on as I travel for the weekend, and you know, getting ready for all those bicep shots. So until next time, please, if you aren't subscribed, subscribe below, and we'll stay on our trek for the Olympia. We got a lot of good surprises coming for you guys, so thanks for following along.